my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kim. I do a whole variety of content from makeup to homeschooling to books to home decor. I cover it all. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for joining me. Now today's video is a follow-up to my new application, my winter application video. I think I said at the end, they both maybe needed some work still. So I did one half of my face how I normally always apply my makeup. But I use a cream foundation, and as the weather gets colder, it's not as malleable. And what basically happens is it doesn't spread on my face as easily as it normally does. So I end up grabbing more product, and so it's a thicker layer, and I don't like looking like I wear makeup. I like it to look like my skin. And cream really, oddly enough, I think in your head you probably think that it's really thick compared to a liquid, but honestly, it provides much better coverage for like at a thinner layer than liquid, and it's very skin-like. I prefer it. But in the winter time, I need to change up my application technique because the product itself is not the same malleability, is that a word, malleability, as it is in the summertime. So I tried a new technique where I literally just drew lines and then let it sit and warm up against my skin, because we naturally have this body heat, because what are we, 98.3, 98.6 degrees, most of us, and that will help warm it up and move it around. My color was a little off, so it threw it off. So I've kind of adjusted the color, and I'm really loving that technique. Also, I didn't film it, but later that day when I had looked from side to side, how I like my summer technique versus this new winter technique. The winter technique, I really loved how it ended up wearing, because it was thinner and it just melded with my skin. It was just a little too yellow for me. So if you haven't watched that video, watch it. There's nothing wrong with how I do it in the summertime. It's just now it's cooler weather, we need to adjust. So normally I apply with this brush. This is a really fluffy end, so this doesn't put on a ton of product. You can put a real thin layer. There's sometimes I love doing it this way. This is the side I normally do it, and I stamp. So I'm gonna just use this side to blend, but for actual application, I'm gonna be using, see, there's like a glare here, the end of this brush. And I'm just gonna use it to place, give the product time to warm up, and then I will blend it all together. So I just draw, I start here on my chin and not here, because I really don't need any product here, to be honest. That skin is, and it's perfect. Well, I don't believe in perfect, but I love it as it is. So I don't really need a lot of product there. And then I'm just gonna kind of paint. I know this is gonna kind of look scary, and it's gonna look like it's gonna go on heavy. Have faith. The stripes are a little bit thicker, yes, because we're gonna put them down. So this is an area that often gets kind of left. So I'm gonna get it there. It always looks so funny at first. And I'm just literally taking whatever's left over and wiping it in other places. And I'm gonna go right outside my eye here. I'm gonna kind of just like paint a tree here. Then I'm going to go in with just a slightly, so this is my palette. If you've seen it, it's like very well lived in. You don't need this many colors. I just love mixing and matching colors. And I homeschool my kids. I work from home. I'm outside a lot, and so my shade can really have a lot of variety. A lot of times when we feel like it's bad skin, it's not bad skin. It's that we don't have a shade that matches us. And you may have, like you have the shade, like the tan color, is it dark tan, light tan? But the other almost more important part is the undertones in it. Do the undertones match your skin's undertones? And when those don't match, or the actual like skin tone color doesn't match, it can make you look like you have a lot of texture. Or dry, like my thing is, it makes me look like I have dry skin. So I'm taking a lighter, brighter color in the corner of my eyes here. And on this outside here, I don't like to put a lot of product in under my eyes because as you get older, that skin is so thin and sensitive. Too much product, it just does not work. And I'm gonna put on my eyelid and a little bit right here. This is where the sun naturally hits us. And just a smidge there. And that is, I'll take whatever's left over and kind of wipe it. There. Okay. Next. This is the part I'm most excited about this technique because you really, I feel like, see the difference between contour and bronzer. So I'm going to do it all. The contour, I'm going to start up. Here's the way. This is why it's important too to brush your hair or brush your hair. I mean, wash your brushes because it's touching your hair and all its oils, and then you're spreading it on your face. So there's that. I'm using the color Astoria. It's honestly not my favorite contour shade for myself. It is one of the darker shades, and even though I'm pretty fair skin tone, on me, I feel like it can kind of look a little dirty. And one of the challenges I have is on my forehead here, it disappears and just turns red. Right? This is where we talk about the undertones. So contour basically is just, it pushes back, it causes things to recede, it creates a shadow. Well, that looks real nice there. So you put it on your cheeks. It's not a necessity for my cheeks because I have very high cheekbones. They're very prominent. I have a natural shadow there. But what it will do is bring this in so you look like you have cheekbones, especially if you have a really round face. And up top for me, it just gives me the appearance of a little bit smaller forehead. Now let's look at what, this is the Bella bronzer. Hopefully this translates on the video. So bronzer, I'm going to, you can already instantly see, like the art nerd in me just is like, yes, look at the difference in tone. Oh God, that's dark. And I'm just gonna paint it right above there and right above there. And then blush. I'm literally just gonna take this blush. This is called Black Cherry. This is how the mascara products come in little tins. And I'm just gonna clean that off. Dab and place it where I want it. I go pretty high on my cheekbones with the color. And look how dark that color is, but do you see how it's not like, on the skin, it's not that overwhelming. Don't be afraid of dark colors. They're some of the most beautiful colors and they don't translate on the skin that way. All right. So you could blend it in all right now. You could go in and do your eyebrows. I'm going to blend it in. And let's watch the magic happen. Again, this is like the color theory dork in me is just like, look. I'm sorry. I'm going to try and like edit to where you can zoom in on me. Is look at the difference between the contour and my bronzer. Contour should be more neutral. That doesn't mean it is for everyone, but it should be more neutral than warm. Okay, like a shadow. It doesn't need to be a cool tone brown, just neutral. And then again, you're gonna get varying. If this is neutral, you're gonna get some people are gonna go more warm and some people are gonna go more cool. Bronzer is mimicking how the sun tans us. This bronzer is pretty warm, and that too can go, you can get cooler bronzer than warmer bronzers. It's just going to depend on your skin tone. So I'm going to start at the bottom here, and I'm just going to actually do what I normally do, which is tap it in, and I'm like ever so slightly like sliding it around. I can get away with doing this here because the skin is A-okay. And then I am actually going to go into these. I'm going to start back here and blend up, and I'm blending down, like I'm blending from my ear, not down, but forward to my nose, but then also up. Because I don't want that product to be down here. That'll drag your face down. A lot of this, I don't believe necessarily in rules. It depends on what your preference is. Some people like really high contours. I don't always think that looks the greatest on me. Some people like really low contours, and it's just preference. Watch, see how smooth. It's like a magic eraser, except for it's just blending and not erasing. Look at that. That is so beautiful. It's like magic. So beautiful. Not all creams blend like this, okay? This is the wonderful formulation on the part of Maskcara. And I'm actually going to blend up here. I'm going to kind of do some of these darkers, and then I'll go in and blend the lighter color. The reason being, I can use the lighter color to fix any mistakes that I made with the contour. Much easier. That bronzer's a little dark. Okay. Now, I'm just going to kind of like give this a wipe on the back of my hand. I'm going to go in and I'm going to pat. Look at that from this side to this side. This stuff just blends so seamlessly. Guys, I don't have this like teeny tiny nose. I have a bump here in my nose. I don't really ever contour my nose. Sometimes if I have level product, I'll just do this just more for dimension to give it, again, a shadow, but you don't need to contour your nose. And the thing too is if you don't do it right, you can make your nose look worse. And because I have like a more like bulby nose here and mostly the bump messes up the line and it just highlights it. And I don't want to spend that much time placing it. Maybe if I had like a really special event, I would spend the time, but no, not really then either. And if you do, that's great. That's your thing. It's okay. Be you. Okay, so now I'm going to take this here, this lighter color, and I can kind of blend it up into that darker color. Lighten that up. Look how easy that was. It was so super easy. If you make a mistake, it's so easy to go in, get some more, and fix it. And so like this part here, I'm just going to try and blend a little more. But wow, I am really happy with that. All right, I'm going to do brows and I'll be back. All right, guys, I did this really simple eye look. I recorded it, so you'll see that on a future tutorial. I just love the way this turned out. I love the way my skin looks. I didn't add any ounce of like illuminator, or Maskcara calls it illuminator because they call the foundation highlighter. Other companies call it highlighter. It's none of that. Like, that is, my natural skin has a glow, and the great thing about cream is it just honors what my natural skin is already bringing to the table. So here it is. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave comments down below. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.